Welcome to the
Epic Show.
Warning. You're about to embark on an adventure of epic proportions. Buckle up, bucko. You're now tuned in to the Epic Show. With your hosts, Gabe and Dave. Coming to you live from the Epic Center.
This is a good one, actually. There's a lot of bass in that.
A lot of people don't know that that's my past profession is beatboxing.
There's a rare video of you
rare.
doing beatboxing, and it's really good.
It's like a really rare meme, like that you have to dig deep in the internet for.
It's probably been like screen recorded 10 times by people and like hella deep fried.
It's just so many. You see like the screen recording red dot in the left, like 10 layers of it. And it just sounds so bad.
It's like a shitty Snapchat meme.
Yeah. What if with Snapchat and just people who use Snapchat love to just screen record like 17 times.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. Like you'll see like Doug, Christian, like Cassandra, Jessica, like all the names of everyone who it's been like ran through, and like they're all stacked on top of each other in the left corner.
All the lines.
And it's always a fight of someone in a bathroom at Osborne High School. You know?
And you can't even, like, who's winning the fight?
No. And that's, no one's winning. They're both getting arrested.
And then they screen record that and send it to their friend, like, who's winning this fight?
It's like,
he's like, wait.
The text comes up and it's like, who's winning this?
And then that friend's like, well, let me post that on Twitter and ask Twitter. And then someone screen records that off of Twitter, posts it to Instagram, and then that goes to TikTok, and eventually you're on Tumblr, and
eventually you're on World Star.
And that's how we should do the Epic Show clips going forward.
Just pass them through like all the niche
every
circles.
Social media site.
We got to hit like the Armenians on Facebook and let them circulate it and then send it back.
And the day we see a video of us on Facebook of like Armenian text over in like laughing emojis with like an Armenian,
I'll quit because that means we made it.
Yeah. Well, so scenario of the week.
Yeah, who's ready for another scenario of the week?
Let us know in the comments your favorite scenario.
The video is actually magically coded. If you don't comment if you're ready for the scenario of the week, it won't play. So
it'll just buffer in forever. But this one's just a weird conversation we had.
This is a good conversation, though. It's like, I don't know.
It's a realistic scenario.
I don't know how we got on the topic of skydiving.
I think we were on FaceTime with a couple of friends, and one of them asked about skydiving, like we should go skydiving or something.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot how it came to this, but eventually...
I was like, I remember being like, okay, so you go through all the safety courses of skydiving.
Right.
You get up into the plane. It's your first time. Somehow you did so well in the safety courses that they're letting you do it solo.
Yeah, they're like, you don't even need an instructor. You're good to go.
Like, what? This guy is talented. And they set you up. You jump out of the plane, and whenever it time's to pull your parachute, you pull it, and you look up.
And all the strings in the parachute just flap. They're
flying, yeah. And
you look to your right, and there's a gang of rats who have their own tiny little parachutes, and they're all just floating away.
They're going at their speed. Like they've not only have they bitten through your parachute, they threw it up and then constructed their own parachutes and lived in your backpack.
It's like out of Doritos and stuff. They're just like,
and it's just rats that trained themselves how to skydive.
Yeah. Just imagine, like, your friends convince you to go skydiving. You're like, fine, whatever.
Yeah,
what do I have to lose?
I'll do it.
And then as you're plummeting to the sky, defying gravity, you just look and see your leg and just rats scurrying up to your backpack and just nibbling on the on the cord or whatever.
That's the last thing you see.
Really? This is how I'm gonna die? To skydiving rats.
And not only is that the best part, that's not the worst, that's not the best part. The best part is you die, but the rats make the news.
Yeah, and no one cares that you died.
No one cares that you died. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, skydiving rats!" Right?
And it becomes a meme, and like your death is just.
They're like, "Fuck it, skydiving rats."
Yeah,
you know,
it's like really super deep fried rats as you're falling like in the background.
Right, and they become like superstars, and they join like Cirque du Soleil. And like they travel all around the world skydiving, like they're going over the Super Bowl, like they're dropping into the dome.
National phenomenon.
Yeah, they become famous skydiving rats because you died and you never get to see it.
And then you just
and that's your life.
Worthy sacrifice, in my opinion.
I would say so.
I would be happy that I birthed a new national phenomenon.
Yeah, it'd be a cultural reset.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean that's
the snare of the week.
Snare of the week.
Snare of the week is you dying and rats becoming a meme and national superstars.
And they like get their own albums and shit.
Yeah, all this merch with like you're on it like slightly in the background because there was obviously a photographer.
There was a drone that caught it all.
Yeah, it was recording the whole thing, and it's everywhere. So just remember that as you go about your day.
That'd be so epic.
So, I mean, a lot of people know that we're viral sensations. Like, it's kind of a staple at this point.
Yeah, we're just like really famous guys. But this week we took a leap. We actually got some credit.
In the same week. Yeah, we finally got credit for our work. Finally got
probably just a fraction of the credit that I'm due.
Yeah. And the world owes us so
and
much.
A fraction of the credit that David is due for the amount of work he does on this podcast.
I was so happy when we finally.
So if you guys don't follow our TikTok, we had a clip hit 600,000 views.
Yeah, just about.
And like a fuck ton of likes. And it felt good.
Successful.
That dopamine was good. And the clip was the Rotel.
Yeah, from last week.
The story about the Rotel dip from last week. But a part of that for me, David's loving it, but a part of it for me is the comments that I'm getting.
Yeah, that's the thing is
I don't even read them.
We're very different when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, someone will be in the comments and they'll be like, "Oh, you should kill your entire family and you're worthless and no one loves you." And I'll just be like, I'll like the comment and be like, thanks for watching, man. And it just like doesn't really bother me. And
but I'm not looking at it. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm fragile. Like,
I don't think you're fragile. You just like,
I just
take them more seriously than they
honestly,
deserve.
Yeah. Like I'm very critical of myself.
Yeah.
And whenever I see just like no name, no face, just on there being like, this guy is a fat, not funny, like loser piece of shit. So, but at least David enjoys it. It's interaction. At the end of the day, it is interaction with the post. So.
No, I mean, most of it, the vast majority is like, oh, this is hilarious and like stuff like that. But we created a very polarizing scenario because it starts off, I cut it up pretty meticulously.
He cut it. And it was like, it was our scenario where we were like, sometimes as a white podcaster, you can be accidentally racist.
Yeah, which is like buzzword, you know.
Which I still agree that is accidental racism. Like
it's not like.
But I don't think it's not like racism as like, oh, I'm being facetious towards these people. Or I'm trying to cause harm, you know. Like
if we're thinking about it with the actual word, like we're using the word racist in a very like.
Yes.
Clickbaity way.
Yeah. You know? It was not actually racist.
Yeah. But it's just, that was a thing in the comments. Like, oh, this isn't
racist. And like what surprised me was everyone was like, they were watching it and they were genuinely disappointed that I wasn't like being racist or like calling like a black guy the N-word or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what they were
wanted. And they were like, they wanted that, I think. And it's like, Well, that's just not going to happen at the Epic Show. So
yeah, that was a thing. And like, 'cause there was some people who were like, "Oh, this isn't racist." Funny story though, like that, and something like that. And there's a lot of people who are like, "This isn't racist. How is that racist?" Like, this is where our society has come to, where just anything is racist now.
What was the comment where the guy was like, "Congrats, you're in the Matrix, bud."
Oh yeah, period. He's like, "Dude, this isn't racist. You're programmed, man."
Congratulations, you've been programmed. And then I just imagine him hitting enter on his computer.
He's like in a very dark lit room with like
enter.
And he has like 6 monitors.
And he just logs back onto Reddit.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude.
With a mechanical keyboard.
Yeah, facts.
And then another one.
He's like, "Hey, kitten, get a load of this." He's like, "This guy thinks."
And his cat girlfriend on a leash. And then, it was also the Rotel thing, which is I guess, well, I didn't even know what Rotel was when you told me that story.
Let's set the story straight. In the South, if someone says they're bringing Rotel dip, it doesn't just mean that they're bringing a can of diced tomatoes, which is what a lot of people think. And it's a Rotel dip is the cheese, it's Velveeta cheese, shredded beef, and Rotel tomatoes. I explained that also, and whatever, dude. I'm just not.
Like you did, yeah. You said it's like, oh, it's like cheese.
I was like, it's a dip. But the thing is, they were so hung up on the fact and the ingredients of the Rotel dip. Like, I don't care. It's not a part of the story.
Right. Like, imagine if someone said that to you and you were telling that story in person. They're like, oh, wait, that it's actually diced tomatoes. It's in a can. It's not actually a dip.
I'd be like, come here for a second.
You just like explode their head.
Squeeze their head in and juice it.
Bare hands. And I'd just be like, shouldn't ask that. Like, it's normal activity for you. And then, that was like, I mean, that's really the ticket to success for TikTok. Like, if you have a clip or something, just put like buzzword, create 2 divisive things.
This is the blueprint. David's got the blueprint.
Yeah. So just, I mean, the racist thing is like the hook. It's like
buzzword. You got to get someone
to say something
hooked
racist
in on the first like 0.4 seconds,
and then
after that, it doesn't really matter because that's where the view comes from. But that's not the only viral sensation that happened this week.
It's actually not at all.
You know what, boys? You're looking at Mr. Viral, famous guy himself. I did dark humor jokes on the bro code.
The formula.
That is the formula to get views right now. Instagram Reels is eating up dark humor jokes, and
they love that.
And they don't have to be good.
They do not have to be good.
They don't have to be good. I just posted 2 dark humor jokes that really aren't funny, and it just shot out 10K views.
And they love that.
So
you gained like double.
So I had my entire life. I pretty much had 1,300 followers.
Yeah.
Since I got out of high school, and then I posted that clip. It's at 4.5 million views right now.
Jeez.
Like 300,000 likes, and I gained.
You're at like 30K almost, right? Or no?
No, I'm at 18.5K.
It's a little off
on Instagram now. It's not even a substantial amount of like. It's not like I can go outside my house right now. And everyone would be like, "Oh my God, Gabe! Like,
no way,
1017. Do a dark humor joke. Do a dark humor joke,
dude. You're the epic show guy."
No, unless I go to like the Battery or like a Big Bar or like Buckhead or something like that, I'll get noticed out there because the people who listen to dark humor jokes are also the people that go and waste their time at bars plastered every weekend.
Yeah.
So that's the market. That's where I meet my market on Instagram.
You know why we're not big like that? Because on our podcast, we're doing a whole segment about how we got one viral video. Like, I think if we were actually, that was a normal thing for us, we wouldn't be talking about it. Because we're literally just guys. Like, that's why it was like cool to us that we were viral.
Yeah, and it's like we've always grown up. We've grown up on the internet, and we've grown up wanting to be creators, and like to get a feeling of like a fraction of like what a creator, like a full-time creator gets is just so cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember you called me though, and you're like, I thought this would feel a lot better than it did. You're like depressed.
I called him at 6 a.m., I think.
Yeah.
And I do not wake up at 6 a.m.
No.
I woke up at 6 a.m.
You go to bed at 6 a.m.
I go to bed at 6 a.m. And I called him and I was like, dude, is it just me or does this not feel as good as it's supposed to?
And I'm just like, dude, what? Like refreshing the
He's
video.
refreshing
like,
the video, like getting all the views and stuff. And I'm just like,
like you're just totally done.
Like my eyes are about to pop out of my head because I've been looking at the screen for like 4 days straight.
No, that is an
and
issue.
Like feeling like shit. Like,
because our screen times both went up exponentially.
Dude, I wish my phone was charged. It's probably at. I'm not even kidding. My screen time's probably 18 hours a day.
Oh God. Like, I don't know if mine's up there, but
mine is up there, especially whenever I was on the climb to like, because a sad feeling that I did get about like quote unquote blowing up was it smashed all of my like goals as like a young creator in one foul blow, dude. Because like I was like, oh, dude, I wonder what it feels like to have a video hit 10,000.
Right.
Like I was like, I bet that feels so good. And then it hit 10,000. It hit 20,000.
Refreshed 100K.
Yeah, refresh 100K. Refresh 500K. I'm like, geez, okay, well there goes 2 more of my goals.
Yeah,
like
gone.
250K, like 500K. And I was like, dude. I thought it was gonna slow down around 600K.
Yeah.
Hit 1 million. Like in 5 hours later. Then the next day 2 million, next day 3 million, next day 4 million. And I'm just like, dude, like what's gonna motivate me to keep on going now? You know, like well, I wish that it was I wish that the first thing that blew up for me wasn't a dark humor joke. I wish that the first thing
your own.
that blew up me was the epic show.
Yeah.
But
right after
right after that, what I got way more lit for was the epic show blowing up, which is so sick.
It's hard for like 2 random guys. Just
who
with
we're not famous.
Just any other random pod I mean, I would like to think we're different, but you know, we're not like celebrities. Like most big podcasts are like already people who are celebrities or something.
But for everyone to get 2 guys like us who are just normal people to get people to sit down and listen to us for an hour it's a hard task.
It's very difficult.
But I love doing it. It's like like this show is like my favorite thing. I look forward to every single week.
Me from blowing my brains out.
It's great.
Currently.
Yeah.
So, even if like 10 people are there, like it's enough for me.
Yeah, and we love all the comments that we get from y'all. Oh yeah, all the DMs and stuff. It's so great.
Like as much as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just it'll hurt you just refreshing constantly, and once it stops, you're like, oh. There goes my self-worth.
Once it stops,
I was telling
you're searching for that dopamine again. And dude, good luck for me, dude, to hit another mil. Like,
yeah, because that now you're like had that high standard
of 4.5 million.
Yeah,
like, well, I had a 4.5 million, and then I had another one that's at like 850K right now.
Right.
So eventually that will hit 1 million. So I've got a little more dopamine left in the tank in a couple months down the road, probably. So
yeah, like I wonder. The editing on those clips is like pretty good,
dude. And I'm just gonna start tagging on everyone that's good. Every joke that's good, I'll just tag.
Next clip I send you is just like a giant watermark over it. It's like edited by David, and it's like you cannot even see your face. It's so good. And at the end of the clip, I play like a picture of my face, like a gif of me.
It's
like
a gif
smiling.
of you and Dat Boy is rolling
and
around.
I'm riding on Dat Boy's shoulders, and it's like followdavid.com.
Oh god.
But yeah, I mean a dangerous thing with setting goals with numbers on social media is like it's never ending. Cause it's like, oh, once you hit this, you want to hit that. Once you hit that, you want to hit this.
And it's like, oh, you thought that was good? Do it again.
Yeah. And it's like with
do it again.
The lifespan of Reels and TikTok, it's like
do it again.
Not even a week.
Yeah.
And then you're done. Like once the clip like stopped, I was like,
you can breathe. Yeah. No, because it's such an intense feeling. Like
it's a lot.
Like you feel like every time you like refreshed. Dude, whoever makes these apps are
They
good
know how
at
to soak
manipulating
your brain.
that fucking dopamine, dude, because whenever you pull down your page and it flips back up and you just gain 20,000 more views on it,
bad.
and you're like, holy shit, I'm on this many people's phones right now.
Yeah.
You know, like,
right. And you start imagining like a stadium with like that many people and stuff.
And what I imagine is like my video just being played on loop while like a family is like getting divorced in the background, you know, like I wonder how many things my face has been next to that have changed people's lives forever.
Realistically, our clip is the clip that plays on loop while people are wiping their ass, like,
so true.
and it's just in the background
Dude,
while they're
love those
wiping.
clips. I love those clips though because I have so many of those where I just like, I'm like, okay,
all right,
this one isn't that annoying.
I'll play this for 6 loops while I wipe for 30 minutes because I have terrible bowels. And
well, okay, so this is gonna bring me to my point on. So, the clip that blew up, like it's a dark humor joke, right? Like,
yeah,
it's got shock value, all that, but I don't think it's a fraction of what's. I don't think it's a fraction of how funny we are on the Epic Show.
Yeah,
and that brings me to my issue with the state of comedy today. Like,
an issue plaguing the nation.
Stand-up comedy and podcasts have, for some reason, been intermingled.
It's like you can't get in there. It's like a set group of people, and then no one really breaks that barrier.
And the set group of people are Joe Rogan.
Right.
I don't think this is inherently Joe Rogan's fault because he just wanted to start a podcast, you know, and like he just so happened to be famous as fuck.
Right.
Like, but it's the people, it's the Joe Rogan universe. Like Brendan Schaub, he did
like our story.
He liked an Epic Show story.
Brendan, if you're listening.
Please
let us in the circle.
Yeah,
don't deserve.
Please let us in the circle. Whatever. Brendan Schaub, Brian Callen, Theo Vaughn, and Chris D'Elia's in that, but
yeah, we love Chris D'Elia.
I love Chris D'Elia. Chris D'Elia is my favorite comedian.
Yeah,
but my issue with comedy is it's for some reason these people who like run it are so it's such a tight-knit circle, and they portray like they have all this power over the entire world of comedy, which everyone has turned into believing. And basically their agenda is you're going to suck dick for 15 years at comedy. And then maybe you'll be like us one day when you're literally 49 years old.
Right. That's just not how it is anymore.
I don't think that's how it is. And I think that what I want to do in my career is fuck them.
Yeah.
Because Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, like all these fucking people, all these old asses, they don't control comedy, dude. Like, and the people that just fill up their shit, like all their like social media and blow them up and think that those guys are the funniest guys on the internet.
It's just like the first thing you see in the first, like people that have been there since the beginning. So then it's like you're automatically
like they're the ones that have just lasted the longest.
Yeah,
like it's not necessarily that they're the best because there's no way. Look at it this way, dude. In major league sports like basketball, football, the UFC, dude, your prime is only it's very short and it's when you're young. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, these guys have twisted everyone's belief into thinking, oh, the old guys are good at comedy. When has that ever been the truth with anything ever?
True, yeah.
The older guys are the worst ones. The new young guys are the better ones. My ideas are fresher. My brain fires at a higher rate than you. Like,
well, I think with comedy, it's
I have a completely different idea of the world of how it is now. They've been rich for 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't know what's going on. You don't know what it's like to be broke and trying to come up on the internet.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. Like,
no, it's very like, because back then, if you wanted to do anything in comedy, you had to grind it like, like they did, grind stand up and get booed, bomb shows for years and years.
Which they did.
Right, which is respect to them. Like, it was definitely
congrats for sucking for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay? But now I can get just as many views as you from the comfort of my house, and I don't have to go out there and waste my time at a local comedy scene and suck the biggest dick in my local comedy scene just to try and mimic what you do.
Yeah, it's very like, the part that I don't like is the idea that like, oh, like, since you don't have to do what we did, then you're not like real comics type of thing. Like, because I don't know, because with the internet now, like, comedians are content creators now.
Exactly.
And like, there's so much more to comedy than just like stand up and like SNL.
I don't like stand up. Like,
yeah,
I like certain aspects of stand up. I like stand up whenever it's done in a way that's innovative, like Bo Burnham.
Well, I love stand up, but I also don't, think it's the only thing in comedy. And like, if you don't do stand up, then you're.
Oh, and I think that their idea is if you don't do stand up, then you can't call yourself a comedian.
Right. Like,
and that's the vibe they give off. I don't know if they've said that 100%, but that is, I mean,
there's some people that kind of give that
I
up.
think that's what like the Joe Rogan universe thinks. I think that's why Brendan Schaub does stand up. Like, he would be so much better off just doing a podcast because, I mean, granted, he's not the best podcaster, but he is good. And he has the
he's nice in that space with them.
Like I like hearing his voice. Like, he's an entertaining guy, but him being in that circle and them being like, oh, well, you're not legit until you go out there and you fucking bomb for 5 years in front of 39 people at the Comedy Store, and you're not a real comic until you've swept the fucking rug at the Comedy Store and you fucking starved for 8 years and did stand up at a fucking burger shack on the corner. Like, dude, that's just not how it is anymore. And the fact that is being pushed today really, really grinds my gears.
Yeah. Because, there's a lot less young stand-up comics, like, partially because they're all on social media, but also because...
Yeah, partially because they're using the brains.
Because, like, nowadays, you're probably on social media first, and then you might do shows with your fan base.
Yes.
And stuff like
That's
that.
That's what Trevor Wallace, you know that guy?
Oh, is that the, like... he sounds like that kind of...
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I love that guy.
He's crushing stand up now.
Yeah,
he doesn't do it all the time because I think he tried out, and Nick Coletti too. Like, he doesn't do it all the time because
that's kind of like a route. He already had a big fan base.
Yeah, he already had a big fan base. So, and my idea is, why would people do stand up to make clips and put it on their TikTok and blow up on TikTok? If I'm already capable of blowing up on Instagram and TikTok, why the fuck am I gonna go?
Yeah, why do I need to humiliate myself?
Embarrass myself on the stage
for 10 years?
What, so that Joey Diaz could respect me one day?
Yeah,
like,
still alive. By the time
I'm sorry, dude, but I'm gonna replace you eventually. Like, if I stick with y'all strategy and I just stick around long enough, and I have one good joke that I can go around to every city in the country and do. Like, that's what they do. They have the same joke, like Bert Kreischer with The Machine. He's been on tour for that one joke. I actually have never seen
his stand-up clip.
He's been on tour for that one joke called The Machine. Everyone loves it. Every city for the past 5 years, I bet. Oh, and he's made millions and millions and millions off that joke.
Yeah.
Like, and then he'll go on Joe Rogan every year, and they'll do like the fitness thing at the end of the year, and he'll look like an idiot like he does every year. And people are just used to that. Like they have, I don't know, dude. It's so boring to me. Like, whenever you're out with friends and stuff, like, and a 50-year-old man approaches you and says a dick joke, like, do you think that guy's funny? Or do you run away from that guy and call him a drunk asshole?
Yeah.
Because that's what they are. Like, just because they have a platform and millions of followers, because it's been given to them through the Joe Rogan the Joe Rogan Experience, and like
it's a big platform.
You don't think those guys are funny, like in real life, like. I just don't know what this just really makes me mad as comedy as a whole. And I think that the need for stand up is becoming less and less and less and less, which is good. In my opinion.
I mean, it's like, I think I always want stand up to still be there. Cause it's like, cause I do have a lot of respect for it if you can pull that off. Cause it's a very hard, like, niche thing to do. To think that it's the only way to truly be a comedian is like what I don't like. But I just don't want the idea that you have to do stand up or you're not
a funny guy.
Right. You can't say you're a comedian unless you do stand up. Like, I think comedian as a title is so much more. Oh, it's changed so much since then.
And why would I put myself in a box, right? When I could stay at my house, say something funny in front of a camera, and have David's sick ass editing skills, like magic the clip up, like, and make it way better than me standing on stage in a fucking polo and a tucked in polo, like, just looking like an idiot, and like half my jokes failing because I'm in the wrong city.
That's another thing, like, because with nowadays you have the algorithm to just give it to the right audience,
to the people that you want,
instead of you having to like build it, which is like, it's definitely harder back then, but like now you don't have to do that anymore. So it's like, why would you do that?
Struggle?
And even like outside of stand up, just like other forms of comedy, like comedy movies and like SNL, improv, stuff like that. That's even like a whole.
If someone tries to show me a Saturday Night Live clip within the past that's been filmed in the past 5 years, fuck off.
There's some
Pete
good
Davidson
ones in there,
is not funny.
He's funny, like. If I was talking to him, I would like.
He's funny laugh. Because he's famous, bro.
I think he's like. I don't think his SNL things are funny, most of them, but like I think he as a person is just like a funny guy.
I think the SNL was really good at one point.
It was amazing,
and they had like an all-star cast, but that's just not it anymore, dude.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people that have been on SNL are hilarious. Like, I don't want to list everybody, but
right. What movies do you think like?
No, that's what I want to talk about, because back then it was like you did SNL, you stand up, whatever. You were in that space, which was very hard to get into back then. Mm-hmm. And there was just a group of people, like you had like the Seth Rogen group, and then you also had like Will Ferrell group, which like, I mean, I love
Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah, Anchorman, like one of my favorite movies ever. Mm-hmm. But like comedy movies as a genre is just completely dead.
It's turning into horror.
Which I mean, comedy is just something you sprinkle into it's just a sub genre to whatever other movie.
But whenever I say it's turning into horror, it's everything's been done. Like in a comedy movie, not everything. Of course, there's going to be some good comedy movies that come out, but that won't happen until like a big reset happens and they start putting younger people in my opinion.
Right.
But
I don't see comedy movies ever coming back. I think the idea of
they're just overdone.
Some like absurd scenario, and then the plot. I mean, obviously the plot isn't the point. Like the plot is always going to be absurd.
No, the plot is never the point.
Right.
It's how many stars can I get on screen?
That too, but just like that's how it is now.
Can I get Kevin Hart?
And it sucks.
Oh, and Kevin Hart comes with The Rock. Okay.
By the way,
in every movie. And can I get Adam Sandler?
That's another genre,
Yeah, that'll come with 3 other B-list comics.
And it's just a very like gate-kept scene of those movies, which like I loved them at the time, but it's just like it's in the past obviously now.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't see comedy movies ever coming back. Like again, it's the same thing with like the internet now, cuz like you don't need to make a movie to be funny. Like you just can just make literally like Caleb City, for example, like someone or RDC, like just making a skit and you play all the characters and like you just edit it on your phone. And
it doesn't even have to be high production or anything. It just has to have
millions.
You just have to have the essence of humor.
Right. Which that's what I love about.
I do too. And that's what I love about internet culture and internet comedy. It's like I can find so many people that are just like me. Like that have the same humor as me, right? And I can just watch all their videos and like it's like self-healing in a way, like to know that, oh, if I'm not like Adam Sandler, I'm not funny.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, oh, I can't do stand up.
No, I can't do stand up. I'm not Joe Rogan.
That like the phrase like, oh, you're funny, you should do stand up. That needs to stop.
Yeah.
Because like that, just the thinking that, oh, funny equals do stand up.
Yeah, funny
like that
equals
needs to
stand
stop.
Up.
Like
no.
That's not how it should be anymore. Like, oh, you're funny, you should do this, you should do that. Like you should, make videos. You should, I don't know, anything. It doesn't always be
anything
like,
really. Yeah,
I just don't. That's just one category of comedy. That's like one of dozens that you could do.
I agree,
like,
and it's
funny.
also the oldest one.
Yeah,
it's like someone saying, "Oh, you're a good driver. You should drive this fucking 1942 locomotive."
It's like
that's exactly what you're trying to tell me. Like,
kinda, yeah.
No, how about I make a YouTube video, get paid way more money than going out there and doing stand up at a bar for $200 in a fucking drink voucher.
Actually, I'm gonna drive this Tesla. So
yeah, no, I think I'll
that.
drive this Tesla and stay in my air conditioning.
Yeah. Man, I just like
we're gonna get hate from the old heads. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, that's for
and
sure.
Honestly,
they're not watching this.
Bring. Oh yeah, I forgot they don't have TikTok.
Their managers, their marketing team has
their marketing team will be hearing about us.
Stuff. The people our age are the ones running all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely miss like sketch comedy is one of my favorite forms of comedy.
Yes,
like Key and Peele,
And I think Key and Peele was like
we were just watching.
We just watched Key and Peele, and I think it was so great for its time. But like watching it now, it does
right. Like we
dated.
were very young. It
looks dated.
I still like will look back at the good ones, like the good like dozen.
They're always going to be fucking great.
Yeah. But like sketch comedy is something that it definitely died on, at least on YouTube, and it came back a little bit with like people like RDC and stuff, and just internet people.
Yeah.
But that's something I wish could come back because it kind of died because it's just like. It died because of Vine and TikTok and everything turning TikTok into short form comedy. And with YouTube, at least at the time, like you can't really clickbait a like sketch comedy video. Like
no.
If you look at like Smosh's old, like first off, going back and watching a Smosh video is a painful experience.
Yeah, it is.
It really like
I agree. And like you realize how long those videos are.
Oh man.
Too. Like I'm like, damn, dude, I really sat here for like 11 minutes and watched this. Like I get more dopamine in a TikTok
ratio.
Yeah. Dopamine the dopamine meta is changing constantly. And who knows what it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna go back to long form comedy. Like, what if it turns into like nano comedy and it's like
just 1 second? You have 1 second. You can say something.
You have 1 second to make people laugh. I wouldn't be surprised if that's an app.
That's literally the game we play. That's a try not to laugh game.
That's a genius idea.
Wait, we should patent that. But yeah, like Smosh. Like it's very cringe to go back and watch. Like, and it just hurts because I'm like, oh, I used to love this so much, but it's just not what it will.
No.
Maybe I was just a 12-year-old.
Well, that was also the meta at the time. It was good.
Comedy has changed, but I do like what they do now. Like, he's definitely evolved, and they do like improv games, and it's funny. And they have like a whole different cast. I actually like.
It's just not Smosh anymore.
Yeah, it's different. It's not Smosh,
and it's also ran by a company. So
yeah, but
just like everything good, eventually will turn into a major corporation.
Like hopefully we'll become a major, and we'll have ink at the end of it.
Yeah, it'll be. You'll see like doppelgangers of us doing the epic show,
and we're just in the back, just like
on our like $1 million beds because that's what sells.
We have AI. We just write the script and then they just do it. But it's like the robots are so realistic that
is this another scenario of the week?
I guess it is. And it's just like, well, I went to the store that day. That's the prototype. And eventually it's just us right now, and you can't even tell. They like fidget in the same way.
Yeah. They talk about like what happened at Bro Code that week. And like they don't just sit here like in the studio, like they're just glued to the chair.
Oh yeah, they're attached to it.
Yeah. Oh god.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like that there's more forms of comedy and more.
Me too. It's always growing, and I love how creative our generation is. Like everyone's going to talk shit about our generation, but our generation is honestly what will put it's bringing art back and putting it into the forefront. And no, sorry, we all don't want to have a family and drive a forklift. I'm sorry, Dad.
I'm literally thinking of like a Gen Z meme, like putting up like a super elaborate like stand-up joke with like a huge setup and everything, and then just next to it a Gen Z meme of like a deep fried like I don't even know.
Right. Which one's funnier?
Just a minion, like a minion saying "bruh," and that's the meme, and it's everybody laughs at that more. It's like, but that's literally how it is. And then the boomers are like malding about it, like, you didn't even think about that or grind for 30 years. And then Gen Zers are later like 21, and then they get the audience. It's like, that's kind of how it is.
No, that's how it is.
Well, I guess we'll transition from there and leave that there. But I saw this trend on TikTok, and it was like, what is scarier between Batman like maniacally smiling at you or Spider-Man not talking at all?
And like, jeez.
It's like,
that is if you think about that, like those are both like horrifying things, because Peter Parker is
he's always quipping,
dude. He's always riffing.
He's always got some one-liner.
And Batman is always, first of all, pissed. And then cool, calm, and collected,
right?
And quiet. He's just straight business. And if Batman was like smiling at you,
he does not smile.
Like, something elaborate is about to hurt you, really bad. But if for the trend's sake, I would be shitting my pants if Spider-Man was walking towards me, not talking.
Just slowly walking towards you. Well, I initially thought Spider-Man, because like he's a superhero.
Big Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, Spider-Man fan, by the way. And but then I thought, okay, if Batman is smiling, that means he's like mentally insane, probably.
Yes.
And at that point, if he's not in the right, if he's something mentally is messing with him, he might be willing to kill me.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man is not.
He subdues. He doesn't kill.
Because if Spider-Man is just mad, I might be hospitalized for my entire life, but I might live.
Yeah.
Because if he's just mad, then he's not like, okay, he's not going to kill me. But if Batman, mentally insane, it's going to kill me.
And let me tell you about the Joker, or the Batman who laughs.
Right. This is what it's based off of.
So basically, let me give you some backstory on this. David doesn't know anything about the Batman who laughs. I love it. So it's Bruce Wayne. It's a comic series. It's Bruce Wayne, and Joker has gone too far this time. And Batman breaks his neck and kills him. And as Joker's last hoorah, like his last joke, is after he breaks his neck, a chemical secretes out from his skin, and Batman breathes it in. Ooh. And Batman becomes the Batman who laughs, where he's got Joker serum in him.
Right.
And his whole like body changes. He changes basically into the Joker in the Batman suit. I'm sure we'll post some clips of pictures of him. But he looks sick as fuck, first off. And let me tell you what he does. First off, he kills every superhero on the planet.
Planet?
On his planet, okay? And this is in Earth 22B, or 22. And after that, well, he kills everyone besides the Justice League.
Right. Okay.
And he what is it? He goes to another dimension, because this is in his comic. He has the multiverse.
Okay.
All these multiverses, and he goes and he gets other Batmen from other dimension and gives them the serum. Right. So he has an army of the Dark Knights, is what he calls them, and he pulls up on the Justice League from his world, and the Justice League kills all of the Dark Knights. Then he gets pissed. He goes and he talks to Barbados, which is an actual bat god, and the bat god gives him more power.
Oh my God.
Okay?
It's so broken.
He goes back to the other dimensions, gets the Justice League from the other dimensions, gives them the serum, comes back to
Nobody's living this.
Comes back to his dimension, right? Kills the Justice League. Then goes to every other dimension and kills every other Justice League and Batman in every other dimension. Then
there's more.
He goes and he teams up with her name is Perpetua, and she's like the goddess of death in this timeline. Teams up with her to kill the universe. Okay?
Successfully?
Kills her. Kills her. And then the only thing left, like the humanity's last hope in every dimension, was this like super OP Wonder Woman. And like literally touched by like Zeus or something like that. And she threw him into the sun. And that's the only way you could kill him. And he died. And that was the last chapter.
That's insane.
Is that not fucking like, that's sick as fuck? Like, to me, like I'm just so, I love Batman, and like those wacky like comic things that could never be in the MCU or the DCU are just so sick to me. But like, I'm
confused, like how after you knowing all that, picked Spider-Man that you're more scared of.
Well, that isn't the Joker who laughs.
Well, that's what that scenario is based off of. That's like the picture they use.
Oh, it was the Joker who laughs?
Yeah.
Or it was the Batman who laughs? Yeah.
Well, they say it as in Joker's or Batman smiling.
If it's just regular Batman smiling at me, no. But if it's the Batman who laughs,
Yeah, me too.
Dude.
Because if at that point he's willing to kill me, like...
Oh, kill you?
Yeah.
He's ready to kill everyone's bloodline. Like,
exactly.
He's
so
ready to
I'm more afraid of
annihilate
that.
Gods.
Because, like, I don't know.
No, yeah, you're toast.
So
if that's just regular Peter Parker not talking,
I'll be like, listen, man,
because you could get through to him.
Yeah, I'll be like, big fan.
Yeah,
I love your work. Please.
You would be like, look at these TikToks I made of you.
Look, I have.
Look, he did the.
I know how to do it too with editing.
So in that scenario, I would pick
because
the Batman who laughs, because he's literally a god.
Yeah, but if you take away the serum or whatever and it's just Batman, I'm more afraid of Spider-Man.
I'm more afraid of Spider-Man because he's about to...
Spider-Man is a superhero.
Pop my head off.
Yeah.
With one punch, dude. Like,
I think Spider-Man is, well, not the strongest. Well, I think he's the best superhero.
You think he's the best superhero?
I think he's
like,
the...
overall, like, because he is a hero. I would... Sometimes, like, you could justify the calling Batman an anti-hero sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a superhero all the time, but like, first of all, he's not super.
Right.
So
he's just man.
Yeah. But I think that I like Spider-Man more as a character.
Yeah.
I do like Batman. Batman's my favorite, but like, I think that Spider-Man's been through more pain.
Yeah, I think there's more depth to Spider-Man.
He's more man.
But you said something when I brought up this topic to you. I said, wait, you don't really think Batman could beat Spider-Man, do you? And you're like, well, and I was like,
oh yeah, you got pissed. You got pissed about that.
How is that even a scenario?
Okay, do you want me to make my points?
Sure.
Okay. I could just dead this argument in one.
Don't give me some. Oh, if he had this thing and that, and then if this scenario happened in this comic, in this multiverse.
No. This is canon.
Okay.
He killed Superman.
Yeah, with kryptonite. Spider-Man doesn't have kryptonite.
It's not only he didn't just be like,
well, yeah.
Here's the kryptonite. He threw hands with Superman.
No, yeah, he had mastered 200 martial art forms. I'll give him that.
Threw hands with Superman, who was faster, stronger.
What if he doesn't have the kryptonite?
Higher fight IQ, right?
Yeah.
Also,
but he needs the kryptonite to beat him.
Okay, listen to this. Also, he beat Deadshot and Deathstroke at the same time, and at some point, I think it's like a known fact that Batman would kill Captain America.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
like there was a thing about it, and Batman like won easily.
Yeah. I think he's a better fighter, and like he's not.
Captain America destroyed Spider-Man in the movie, like, and subdued him completely.
But he no.
Yeah, he did.
Well, first of all,
in Civil War.
First of all, he
rashed him in Civil War.
It's not 100% like guaranteed. Captain America is like losing to Batman.
Like, it is.
It
is.
You have to
Captain
show me
America to Batman? Dude, you're tripping.
Well, I think Batman
would
win because I think has the IQ. But I think
he's stronger. He's physically stronger.
No, but you're underestimating how strong Spider-Man is. Spider-Man is infinitely stronger.
I agree.
Than Captain America. Yes. It's a known that's a known thing that Spider-Man is insanely strong.
Are you saying like physically stronger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you might have heard this.
I've heard that he pulls punches.
He does extremely.
Okay.
Like there's one where I forgot what villain. There's like a comic where a villain switches bodies with Spider-Man and doesn't know like his own strength, and he punches someone completely,
and they pop,
obliterates them like dead. Just like not just a normal punch, and they just like they completely twist their jaw.
That is pretty strong.
And because they were just like punching normally, and that's when they realized that he's pulling their punches, and they were petrified.
Oh, they were scared of him after.
I forgot what villain it was, but so that's what I'm saying. Because like
that is really cool.
Spider-Man is smart. Like he knows how to fight, especially the older versions of Spider-Man.
Yes,
he's not just like Batman might have,
but Batman
the martial arts. But.
Batman, would you say that Spider-Man has higher fight IQ than Batman? Maybe
not. Like if you strip them from if you gave them equal strength, Batman is winning. But like it's just Spider-Man's a superhero. Like he's.
You don't think that Spider-Man wouldn't be ready for? You don't think that Batman wouldn't be ready for Spider-Man's strength though? Like you don't like. You really don't think that? I mean, he was ready for Superman's strength.
But
if we're coming down to
man. It, first of all, can we talk about how Superman is completely garbage in every aspect? I hate Superman.
I think that you hate the Superman that is portrayed in all the movies because Superman was an alien, but he was born here, or he wasn't born here. He was raised here his whole life. So he is a man and he is human.
No way.
No, yes, but no one has ever portrayed him as they always portray him as some alien robot who doesn't have any emotions or anything.
And
apparently he's one of the most like emotional heroes. Like, and that's why he's like, but in their defense, if you give Superman all the emotions and all the power, it's like
he doesn't have any.
This is boring. You know,
I think Spider-Man and Batman are the best in their own category.
I would say that Spider-Man is the best hero from Marvel, and I would say that Batman is the best hero from DC.
Because the thing with like Batman is I think Batman has better villains than Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man villains is like Green Goblin. Love Green Goblin, but he just like a good guy and is like, oh, accidentally made myself a bad guy.
He's kind of like a knockoff Batman.
It's kind of like a knockoff Joker, yeah.
Or, well, like a Batman too. He's like a mix of the Joker and the Batman because he's so rich.
Oh yeah,
you know, and like has all the gadgets and shit.
Right. Like I think,
but with like the Joker, like less of an evil Joker
right.
mind.
I think that Green Goblin does something well with Spider-Man is he tests Spider-Man's morality and like his justice or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, you know, because that's why Joker's like one of the best villains for Batman.
It's
he
constantly a test.
His like, you know, because Joker's just this complete anarchist and Batman believes in justice. And like that's a really good combination.
It's a game.
Yeah, and like he has other villains that like directly correlate to something that they challenge him in a certain aspect. Like Bane challenges him in strength. Like he cannot beat Bane in a pure like.
No,
that's like the whole movie. Like
it's like
Bane just completely whoops him
to Bane,
and he had to outsmart him to beat him. Like, and then you know Joker, he has to like stretch his justice and morality to beat Joker, and like just villains like that who challenge him. I think that's something Spider-Man could do better at.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's necessarily Spider-Man's fault. It's like...
Yeah, like him as a character, I love
I think that he deserves a better... I think we deserve to be shown a better villain for Spider-Man.
Right.
In my opinion, I think that if they went all out on a Scarecrow Spider-Man movie, bro, like that's the closest you're going to get to a Joker and Batman type of thing.
Because they need somebody else besides Green Goblin. Like
they need a psychological, like, and well, I guess Mysterio was a psychological.
Yeah,
one.
he did. Yeah,
and that was really fine.
But they had to like twist.
Yeah,
the MCU, like, as you know, MCU definitely has done some terrible things with the characters, but they did something right there with, making him more of a challenging character to Spider-Man instead of just some guy that's like, just a guy in a helmet.
Drone guy.
Thing. Yeah, like
he questioned his stuff, but like I've always thought that the Scarecrow was such a sick villain, and like no one's done anything with him except for in the game, in Arkham games. Like he has this like sick ass like obstacle course where you like have to jump through like memories and shit.
Yeah,
like
I think I've seen
it's
that.
fucking nuts. Like,
but I think the thing that Spider-Man, like, I think that what makes Spider-Man my favorite, and like, in my opinion, I like him more than Batman as a character, is like sacrifice. Because Batman, Peter, like, the whole thing with Spider-Man is he sacrifices everything to be Spider-Man and to be a hero.
Okay.
Like, partially because of Uncle Ben and like that whole mantra, but
right.
Batman doesn't sacrifice.
Everything that Batman had to sacrifice was taken.
Well, that's a good point. But like, I just think, like,
and
in terms of relatability,
watched it at a very impressionable age. May I say, at 12 years old, you watch everything in your life gone in front of you.
Which I think Batman.
But that's why that's in my opinion, that's why Spider-Man is more of a relatable character and a man.
Yeah.
Batman is a man, but
he's like
he's not a human. Like he does not have human traits.
Right.
In my opinion. Like
no, because
the only thing human about him is his body.
Yeah.
Like
honestly.
He grew up without a family. Money is not an issue. Like it's literally just him being a cold person who wants to set order to things, which is sick.
Which I mean, they're my two favorite. Like, I guess it's cliche to say the two like most popular heroes are your favorite, but like they are for a reason. Like,
yeah, exactly. I do want to get into. I think that I would love Wolverine.
Yeah, he's
like I've heard
he's been hurt.
I've heard he goes through it.
Logan, top 5 comic
That's what
book
everyone
movie.
Says.
It's really good, yeah. Especially if you know like his whole like background.
Yeah,
but
I need to.
It's just like a good conclusion to, and sad, but
because he could take the spot as like at least 3.
He's up there. I hope that they kind of bring him back and do something different with that, because I think he'll be up there with.
What do you think of a Deadpool and Spider-Man movie?
Ooh, that would be. I think that's a good combo. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love Deadpool. Deadpool's up there for me too. He's like in my top 5.
They would like their jokes would mesh, and like Spider-Man would not like approve of
no,
Deadpool at all, but they still like fight together.
It would be cool to see Peter Parker be the mature one in the scenario. You know,
that's what I'm hoping is that now after he's been through everything he's been through, then he's the mature one, and then they bring in Miles and they do that whole thing, and he's like, the mentor. But
that'd be sick.
With Batman though, the thing that Batman doesn't have is Bruce Wayne. Like the difference between them is Bruce Wayne is his mask. Like he's really just Batman. And Bruce Wayne is the mask he wears.
Yes.
In public. But you know, Spider-Man is Peter Parker. He's just a guy like anyone else. You know, the whole idea that anyone could have been bit by the spider, which, you know, the Andrew Garfield movies kind of ruined that idea. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. But
they got their
only my son can be Spider-Man. And they spent it's like 45 minutes the second movie just talking about his dad. Like it's never about his
really
dad.
Sucked. Yeah.
No one cares about
Spider-Man's dad.
His dad is Uncle Ben to us. Like that's all we care about.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
I agree with that. And I think that one thing that they tried to do really well was they gave Christian Bale the super rich and suave.
Yeah, they overdid that a little bit.
You know, and he was just a dickhead.
Right.
You know, and what, in my opinion, what I really like about the new Batman is like Robert Pattinson is like obsessed with being the Batman now.
Right.
Like, and this is his early stages, and he's like, fuck Bruce Wayne. Like,
right. Like
I can always be Bruce Wayne and have enough money to fix any mistake that Bruce Wayne makes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to become a night owl, and I'm going to
be a creature of the night.
The creature of the night. And I'm going to do this 100%.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's the correct way to go about it. And like,
exactly.
Figure out your Bruce Wayne stuff later and be Batman.
Right. Because
when everyone needs you right now.
Because people like are pretty polarizing on the new Batman movie, but I
love it.
That was amazing to me. Yeah.
And I think that they do need to give one thing about, I'll probably end on this. Bruce Wayne is not needed.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
By anyone in his life.
Exactly.
Peter Parker is needed by Aunt May,
right.
by all of his friends, like all these people. And Bruce Wayne is just a millionaire in a castle.
Yeah.
Behind gates and no one knows anything about.
Wait. Can you just turn around for a second? Just for 1 second. Me? I'm going to talk about Spider-Man real quick. Just...
Why do I have a hunch of what's happening? I think if I had to guess, he was putting on his extremely realistic Tobey Maguire Spider-Man mask, and if I'm lucky, he's wearing the gloves too.
So the reason why Spider-Man 2 is my favorite... The reason why Spider-Man 2 is my favorite Spider-Man movie, and the best in my opinion, is because it portrays the like Peter Parker struggle the best. You right? Because it explains he loses everything. Like his grades go down. Mary Jane leaves him, gets a new boyfriend. His best friend hates him. Like that's the struggle of Peter Parker. Like you lose everything in your personal life, and you still do it anyway because you want to save everybody. And that's why Peter Parker's the best. And Spider-Man 2 is the best movie.
You know, you have a very strong selling
You don't want to fight me on this one, man.
Your eyes are fogging up. You cannot see or breathe out of that.
I cannot breathe.
And in my opinion, Spider-Man 1 is by far the best.
Ooh.
I think that Spider-Man 2 is all over the place. The pacing is terrible. Oh. As a film guy, you should know that.
I don't care about pacing.
Spider-Man 1, OP. And also, I'm going to be honest, my second favorite is Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 is my second favorite.
It's a fun one. I'll give you that.
It's fun to watch.
I just think Spider-Man has the best thing.
Peter Parker be the bad guy.
It's the best portrayal of Spider-Man on live action. Second to Spider-Verse, by the way.
Cannot get behind that. But
these are irrefutable facts.
And this is the Irrefutable Epic Show. Signing out. We love you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Please give us a 5-star. And we
need
will
that
see
so bad.
Next time, live from the Epic Center.
The Epic Center. Thank you guys for watching.